Welcome to the channel, or welcome back to the channel. I hope you're doing well. This is being recorded live, so I'm live on the old YouTube. So, hello people of the internet, I hope you're doing well. How is your Wednesday, the 17th of January, 2024? So what are we going to talk about on show and tell in 2024? The Sega Master System, Bambinos. Let's just make sure my camera and all is set up right. I'm also going to do a couple of quick checks, make sure we are actually live. So bear with me. There we are. Looks like we're live. Yeah, so I'm going to show off I have no idea how many I've got. I've got my Sega Master System collection by here. I'll show off some of my other bits, my peripherals, if you like. I'll tell you a little bit about the history with the console. Yeah, hope you enjoy. So sit down, sit back, relax, and enjoy my growing Sega Master System collection. The Master System in 2023, I want to say, was one of the most, it was the most fun console to collect for. I had quite a lot of success with the Sega Master System. I went to my local CEX. I was having an hour in whether to go out one weekend, and I did a quick search in my local CEX, and always, okay, there's two consoles I always check out. Is the Sega Master System and the Xbox, okay? They're the two, and the PlayStation, okay? But I always seem to go for Master System first. And my local CEX in Port Talbot, shout out CEX in Port Talbot, they had one of the, I think either the first or second most Sega Master System games in the entire world, or in the UK. So, sorry, I feel like I'm really low down. Gotta get the camera right, haven't we? Get my good side. I haven't got one. Yeah, so we went in there and I came out with a stack, an absolute stack. Paid a pretty penny for them, but yeah, I did really well, and I'm pretty sure that was in 2023. And I always say it's a good day game hunting, or successful day game hunting, when you come out with even one Master System game. So that was a good day, okay? My bank didn't agree, but my bank balance. But so my history with the Sega Master System, it was the Sega Master System 2 is the one I grew up with, okay? Until recently, I still had my original Sega Master System as well, my Master System 2. So it's my first ever games console. Before that, it was a Toshiba MSX, which it was cassettes. Then we upgraded to I wouldn't say, it's not quite awesome. The Master System's awesome. The maybe iconic Commodore 64. And then when I say we, it's me and my brother. My brother's 18 months older, okay? He's not into gaming anymore. So we had it was our big Christmas presents I'm talking about, okay? And I remember we had the Sega Master System 2. I was so excited. I didn't really understand at the time. I was probably 6, maybe 7 years old, I think. I didn't know there was a better one out, the Sega Mega Drive, I think would just come out. But growing up, we were always like a console behind. We weren't poor, both my parents worked full time, but because we had so many hobbies and interests, like swimming, sport and stuff like that, we were expensive kids. So we couldn't have, some of my friends didn't have all the sporting stuff going on, so they just had a games console, so they had the Mega Drive or the Super Nintendo, where we had the Master System because we had other stuff going on, I suppose, okay? So not having to go at my parents or anything like that, okay? Yeah, so I remember Christmas, we had the Sega Master System 2 with Alex Kidd in Miracle World built in. I think there's only 2 variants. There's one with Sonic in it, but before Sonic came out, there was with Alex Kidd in Miracle World was built in. And I'll get to it, I had an Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade game. We'll talk about that later. But the star of the show, right, so I had those 2 games. It was enough for me. It was massive leap forward to the Commodore 64, and the biggest improvement, or my favourite thing about it, and it's better, what this is better at than current gen as well, is it came on these things. They're called cartridges, okay? And it's as instant as you can get. You put it in, you turn it on, the game's loaded. There's no installing or anything like that. Or on the Commodore 64, I can't remember. It's the type, I could do it as a kid though, type in something from the book or play this. It was like a PC at the end of the day to tell it what to do. This, boom, put it in, turn it on, happy effing days, okay? So that's what struck me. But even quicker than that was Alex Kidd, of course, was built into the console. And we played hours and hours and hours. That Christmas, I remember, I'll have to see if I can find the photograph of my parents. Had a really nice idea. We didn't have a video camera back then. Not many people did they, in the 80s? But we always had a photograph of our sofa. So you come downstairs and, has it been Father Christmas? And all our stuff would be out on the sofa. The right side would be for my brother. The left side would be for me. And then there'd be stuff in the middle that was for both of us. We learned that pretty quick. So we had to leave both of us stuff till the end and open it together. But yeah, it was so exciting, right? And the other thing I remember, so I remember the Sega Master System was the star of the show. And it was the first time I ever met my cousin. He was about 6 months older than me, 6 months younger than my brother. He was kind of in between me and my brother, so whatever that is, okay? It's the first time we ever met him because he lived and grew up in South Africa. So he spent the Christmas in sunny Wales. What an upgrade, isn't it? So he went from having Christmas Day on his garden lawn, having a barbecue, to our nice rainy Christmas Day, in the cold. He loved it. And he used to come over and we would just play and play and play the Sega Master System, okay? But then going to school, as I started talking about games to other gamers, okay, back then in my class and stuff like that, I very quickly noticed or realised we had the old console. We were like last gen, weren't we? And retro gaming back then wasn't a thing. It wasn't a cool thing like it is now, okay? So I noticed all my friends either had Super Nintendos. Like my next door neighbour, he only had one thing for Christmas and he had a Super Nintendo. And I thought he was the luckiest person in the world, okay? But then I realised that, there's a Mega Drive. Then yours has got 8-bit. Mine's got 16-bit. Right, bits. They're important, apparently. Then I remember going over friends' houses and we playing Altered Beast. Sonic would come out. And when I got home, put my little Master System on, it was like, oh man, we're behind in the times. Our sprites are a lot smaller and stuff like that, okay? So a lot of my friends had next gen or current gen, or next gen compared to us on the Sega Master System, or the majority of my class then had the Nintendo, okay? So it was kind of console wars. If you had Sega, you were a Sonic, Sega hardcore guy. If you had Nintendo, you were a hardcore Mario guy. So I used to trash what they had and defend what we had, kind of thing, okay? So looking back though, okay. Oh, and the other thing as well, I noticed in the magazines and on some of the TV shows like Games Master and stuff like that, they'd always put down the Master System. Or the magazines, of course, they need to sell these magazines, don't they, these publications. They would hardly ever, you're very lucky basically if you had one game reviewed. Or I remember one guy reviewing a game on the Master System and just trashing it. It's like, who's got a Master System these days? You're almost made to feel inferior because you had inferior technology, do you know what I mean? But looking back, we were the lucky ones, okay? Because we grew up with the Sega Master System. I like Nintendo. I went actually jump ship. I went from the Sega Master System. Eventually, when the N64 got announced, then we had a Super Nintendo, okay? I jumped ship, okay? So I never actually owned a Mega Drive, okay? But I'm telling you, if you grew up with a Master System, not a Nintendo, we are the lucky ones, okay? Because these games are effing fantastic, okay? And some of them really do hold up. Maybe a little bit of nostalgia. But put it this way, one of my holy grails I picked up last year, I got my top 3 Sega Master System games. I only played it last year, and it almost is my favourite Master System game. There's one game that beats it, okay? And I got a nice little story about that. I've kept also, I will get to the collection, guys. Also, I've got, I think it's 6 or 7 games I owned growing up, and I've still got every single game. I'm so happy we didn't trade it in. It wasn't really a thing, or that boxing basically boxed my Master System up 20 odd years until I even looked in the garage again, stumbled, I must be looking for something else. Oh, I still got my Master System games. I'm so happy I still got those games, okay? So, what I thought we'll do, we'll just go through my collection, and yeah, talk about it. A lot of the games as well, I've never actually played, okay? But I am a Sega Master System collector. I would love to, I don't think I ever will. I'd love to have a full Sega Master System collection. Some friends of the channel, some other YouTubers have got them, and I'm so jealous, okay, guys? So the first thing I'll show off is quite a new edition. I think I picked this up. It's not a real gun, okay? I know it looks real, but look how cool. We had the light phaser, that's what it's called. How cool is that compared to what Nintendo had? That says a lot, that. There's one awesome piece of kit. And yes, I've got the CRT. The CRT is just behind the camera there, actually, okay? Yeah, love me my light phaser. I want to find out a way how I can I want it on the wall. Like, almost as if it's like on a gun rack or something, or something cool. But yeah, really happy when I saw that. This is, I'm really happy with this. I hope this sold well, because I want to see more remasters. So this is actually on the PlayStation 4. They redid or upscaled Alex Kidd in Miracle World. It's a special game for me, that is. Now this is a collection. Like, they've even, look at the disc. It looks like it's got the cartridge vibes. Comes with the manual, like the proper manual. Reversible cover. And I forgot I had a little keyring in there as well. But what's cool with this is you can instantly change from like the retro graphics to the more modern. And it's nice. If you remember, that's the first level. It's really nice to have the modern. I think it was like 27 seconds and I turned it off. I wanted this. That's where it's at, the old school 8-bit graphics, you know. So I really do hope there's more. They salt enough for the game developers to go, do you know what? Let's do even a collection. That'd be amazing. Like, how many Sega Mega Drive collections have we had over the years? Give us a Sega Master System one, you know. This is a good pickup. I think I had this on Amazon. It's kind of a rough guide. Some of the reviews, like Ninja Gaiden, for example, they give a 7 out of 10. That's a 10 out of 10, in my opinion, okay? Yeah, so it's unofficial and unauthorized, a compendium of Sega Master System games, volume 1. And it's in alphabetical order. And it's like half a page. Oh, like Moonwalker. They give Moonwalker an 8, look. So, quick screenshots and a very quick review. So, as a guide. So, for example, if I do a check and... Oh, Paperboy, for example. I've played that. Paperboy, they've got it in CX, my local CX. Is it any good? I'll just refer to this as well as to YouTube. Is it any good? Yeah, I'll pick that up. But that'll be a cool thing to go and have. If you're in a convention or something, or games market or anything like that, have that in your backpack, if you take a backpack. You see a couple of games, go, oh, I haven't heard of that. Have a quick look in here. If it's in here, you can have, like Mercs, 9 out of 10. Boom. Yeah, I'll buy that kind of thing, yeah. So that's available on Amazon. I think it was $9.99. Yeah, it says $9.99 on there. The other cool thing I've got is my control pad, or my retro pad. So it's not an official, looks like a Nintendo control pad, doesn't it? I think it was originally a Nintendo pad modified for the Sega Master System, and the directional pad is much tighter. I think it's close. I am a big fan of the original Master System control pad, but since playing on this pad, I prefer this. Like Sonic, the diagonal down is a little bit tricky. Or not tricky. It's a bit sore on the old thumb, you know, when you're doing some of the moves, you know. But, yeah, check that out. That was on eBay, private seller. It's a RetroPad. I think type in RetroPad Master System. It should come up, okay? Right, that's all the other stuff I wanted to get out of the way. So I'll just grab a game, show the game, and see if I got any memories, have a quick chat about the game, okay? So this is my only loose cart, Space Gun. And I bought this the day I bought my light phaser. So I was after some shooting games. Like Operation Wolf is probably the most famous, or in my friends group, it's the most famous game with the light phaser, okay? Yeah, good. Decent game. The guy maybe oversold that it's the best. I don't know if it's the best. Maybe I didn't grow up with it. Yeah, it's all right. Outrun. Very, very good fun game. I think I borrowed this. I definitely played it originally back in the day. So I'll be saying back in the day quite a lot in this video, okay? Very impressive graphics. Is it what they call it? Like draw distance, you can see really far in over the horizon kind of thing. Yeah, really good fun old time. Gotta love Outrun, haven't you? That double dipped on this one. It's talking about Operation Wolf. So we all know Operation Wolf. Very good fun shooting game with a light phaser. Okay. I can see there Super Tomato. That's where they've got one of the best Sega Master System collections. I'd say Super Tomato in Cardiff, Retribution in Llanelli, but Super Tomato seems to be getting more stock in all the time, where Retribution, I don't know, has he just got a massive collection, and there's not a lot of competition in my area. Out to my friends group when we go in game hunting, like my imaginary friend Chris, shout out my imaginary friend Chris, he is a Mega Drive collector, so it's quite cool. We're not fighting over the same games kind of thing, you know. So he leaves the Master System to me, I leave the Mega Drive to him. And if I see something, Fatal Fury or something like that, I'll say, oh Chris, have you got this? Or we're very good, right? He knows what I've got in my collection, I've got a good idea, and I'm similar with his collection, do you know what I mean? But I made a mistake on this one. I paid $12.99 for it. I don't know how much it goes for. I think I bought it in Super Tomato first. And then I don't know. I'm so frustrated. I'm pretty sure my imaginary friend Chris was saying, I think you might have that. And on the way home, I'm pretty sure you bought that last time we went out. So, hey ho. I think that's the only time I've double dipped though. But it's a great game. I want 2 copies. I get 2 TVs and I get 2 phasers. I'll play at the same time. Yeah, I've convinced myself. Yeah, I did the right thing there. The Ninja, the Mega cartridge. Really good fun game. Was this in the arcade? I can't remember. No, I'm thinking of Shinobi, aren't I? I remember with the ninja stars. That third person kind of view. Yeah, good fun game. It's a cheap version of I'll say it, Ninja Gaiden, I suppose. It's quite a common game, quite an easy game to find. Because it's quite common, it's not very expensive. It's an alright game, you know. We'll do the next 2 together. What a difference between Mortal Kombat 1 and Mortal Kombat 2. I wasn't allowed these games back in the day. I wasn't allowed to play these games. My parents, I don't know how they knew. They didn't let on that they knew much about video games. But whenever I used to ask, can I have Mortal Kombat? It wasn't, we'll see. It's a, no, you're not playing that game. The game with the blood. But, yeah, look at the difference. That's Mortal Kombat 1. It looks okay. Mortal Kombat's always looked very good. Okay to very good, isn't it? But even now it looks okay. Look how good that looks. And the gameplay, miles better. I swear to God, sometimes I'm doing moves and I'm not even pressing anything. It's a very confusing game. But to play a fighting game on the Master System is really hard. You've only got 2 buttons, do you know what I mean? So yes, Mortal Kombat 2 is where it's at. That's the best fighting game on the Master System. There wasn't many. And Brazil, I've got Street Fighter 2 on the Master System. Talk about a holy grail. I mean, it probably plays like a cheap version of Street Fighter 1, which means it's janky, but that's, if anyone's wondering what's my ultimate holy grail, probably, definitely on the Master System, from my Street Fighter collector, that's up there with one of my biggest holy grails of all time. Rampage, played it back in the day, but it doesn't play any. I was comparing it to the arcade because my local cinema had Rampage in the foyer in the Odeon. Shout out Odeon in Swansea. I was easy to pick up and play. It's easy to know what to do and stuff like that. But again, maybe it's because you've only got 2 buttons. I don't know. It was just nowhere near as good as the arcade. But this is one of the first times I realised there's a hell of a difference between the arcade and what is on the Sega Master System, you know. Awesome game alert. Psycho Fox. Borrowed this off a friend back in the day. And I remember, see if any of these games have got it. No, I know some of my original games from back in the day. They had like a big poster. And on it showed like a small snippet, I suppose, of the catalogue of the Sega Master System. And some of the games, and I've one screenshot of each game, okay, and it'd say like Psycho Fox underneath, right? And some of them would have bigger pictures, so you think the bigger ones must be the good games. I'm sure Psycho Fox is one of the ones that had the biggest picture. I don't know how they decided which ones to have the bigger ones, but basically, when you're 7, 8, you think, oh, they're the better games because they're bigger. But to be fair, Psycho Fox was really, really good fun. Very colourful. It's a lot of these games are platformers, you know, like Sonic Hedgehog, Mario. I suppose this one plays more like a Super Mario game than a Sonic, if I remember right. But yeah, what a stunning looking game. Shit Fighter, also known as Pit Fighter, but it'll forever be known as Shit Fighter. This is crap even on the Super Nintendo. I'm not going to tell the story again, but yeah, it was a special kid in my class, basically. Thought he had Street Fighter, told me. I thought I was going over his house to play Street Fighter, and it was Pit Fighter. Oh my God. Yeah, no, that's all I'll say on that. Glad I got it in the collection, right? But to know the stages, right, are absolutely massive, but it's only you against your opponent. It's almost like Double Dragon or something like that. That's a game I need in my collection, right? We got to start over here and you got to work your way to the other end of the street. It's not quite as big as that, but it's really big stages. It's a fighting game, 1v1 fighting game. It is alright in its defense. I've got the arcade version on one of these collections on the Xbox 360. It's alright, okay? But the home console versions, they should be called Shit Fighter, not Pit Fighter, okay? Secret Command, haven't played this yet. It looks really good, actually. I can't remember. I think this might have been in that big hall I was telling you about, and I basically went in. Every single Master System game I didn't own, I picked up. And I've got a week off coming up. I got 2 weeks off in the next couple of months. I've gone 17 weeks without having any holidays. And of course, coming to the end of the financial year, I'm going to start cashing in on my holidays now. So the Master System is going to be the star of the show, okay? So I'll catch up on those games, okay? Robocop versus Terminator. one of the best looking, if not the best looking game on the Sega Master System, okay? What, I wouldn't say underrated, because everyone's heard of these games, but I'm hoping, there's a big hope that we do get another one of these, because Robocop Rogue City, yes, it crashed to me, but up until it crashed, it was an amazing game, and the same game developer made a really good Terminator game just before it, and they're an up and coming. They're not quite AAA, so it tells me they've got the licenses for both. So put them both together, how good would that be? Do you know what I mean? But to me, it's a better version. I grew up with the Robocop game on the Commodore 64. This is like an even better version of that, if you ask me. Side-scrolling shoot 'em up, basically. Rastan, I haven't played this yet, but it gives me... there is a Golden Axe vibe, but it looks like more of a platformer. This is considered a very good game, actually. It is most of these as well, I will add, are complete in box, okay? But I think this is fondly remembered, okay? Let me know in the comments if it's trash or any goods. I like this. It's getting a bit of hate because it's nowhere near as good as the sequel. But have you seen the price on the sequel to Streets of Rage? Streets of Rage 2 goes for hundreds of pounds, okay? Sometimes games just become super collectible. I don't really understand it, okay? And they just hit almost like an algorithm, and it's like, right, everybody wants that game kind of thing, right? But Streets of Rage 2 is just one of those games that tells me I'll never have a complete Master System collection unless when I just walk into a charity shop and it's there. Do you know what I mean? I'm being realistic. Do you know what I mean? I know my limitation, my limits, right? But I really like this game. I really, really do. Yes, it's not as good as the sequel. Yes, it's not as good as the arcade or the Mega Drive version. I still need to play the PS4, Streets of Rage 4. It's right there. I've got no excuse, guys. No excuse. But yeah, I was happy to have that in the collection. That's quite a new game to the collection as well. I think pretty sure I picked that up last year. Shadow Dancer, The Secret of Shinobi. Yeah, I like it. It's not an amazing game. It's not a crap game. Yeah, can't say much more. But I haven't played it for donkey's years. I must have borrowed it back in the day or something like that. Shadow of the Beast. Master iMix 92, whatever all that is down there. There's a lot going on that cover, isn't there? Shadow of the Beast, played this on the Mega Drive, went over at my friend's house. I really do like the look of this. Yeah, so I haven't got round to playing it yet. Oh, I think this one, let me just double check. Yeah, this one, right? This was just kind of a blind buy, right? Can't even say it. Good job in our live. I'll edit that out. The Cyber Shinobi. Nailed it first time. Okay. Now, this was kind of early-ish into my Master System collecting. Or actually early kind of into my retro game collecting. And I wasn't like hardcore. Like if I saw this now, I'd buy it straight away. But I was like, oh yeah, I remember having some fun with that. That's okay looking game. I'll buy it. And then I thought, I'll buy it if it's got the manual. And I was in CX in Newport. And I said to the guys, buying some other games. It was, I think, there's a couple of, fantasy. There's a fantasy fighting game. I can't remember. There's a PS3, Battle Fantasia, this game here. That game there, sorry, I know we're not going off topic. I went there for that game there, okay? And that's a hard game to find, right? So I went to Newport, great. Had that, happy days. And then I had another look, and I thought, I'll get these if they got good, if they're in good condition. I'll get Cyber Shinobi if this got the manual. So I asked the guy, I said, oh, you got Cyber Shinobi in the window. Do you know if it's got the manual? Oh, I'll have a look. Went over, comes back, right? It's got the manual. The manual is sealed. That's never, ever been opened. Talk about jackpot. I couldn't buy, throw in my money at him. I was like, yeah, so, happy days. I'm going to keep it sealed as well, you know. It's not the chunkiest. Some of the manuals are really chunky, aren't they? Yeah, so Cyber Shinobi. Cyborg Hunter. This was in that haul that I had. Haven't played it yet. Check out the cover. Looks like a ton of fun. The thing with the Master System, if you didn't play them back in the day, some of these games, my number one favourite game, I'm not going to say what it is, but this might spoil it for you. You got to finish it twice. There's twice as much gameplay in it, okay? And there's a bit of a grind, level up grind in there as well. Ooh, I wonder what it is. You'll have to stay tuned till the end. But some of the games will literally 15, 20 minutes and you'll be done with it. Not saying you'll finish it, but it'll only keep you entertained for that long, you know. Maybe it'll be like that, or maybe it'll be a bit of a hidden gem. I don't know. Oh, I love this game. I think we had this on the Super Nintendo. Chuck Rock. Anything to do with dinosaurs or anything like that, it would just sell in the early 90s because of a little indie film called Jurassic Park. I don't know if you've heard of it, but there was a dinosaur craze, do you know what I mean? So, we played this on the Super Nintendo. Haven't played this version yet, but it does look half decent, you know? I can't report anymore because I don't know. Right, what's next? Oh, awesome game. Oh, this part of it is awesome. California Games. I don't normally do sports games, right? But the surfing in this game was amazing. Talk about a game I could play and did play like every single night. It's the first time I actually got top scores. I had all sixes. I remember it. Basically, I remember reading the manual. I was like how am I only getting fours and stuff? I'm not having any wipeouts or anything like that. But it said basically to where you need to go as close into the barrel as you can and do as many jumps. So basically, probably not explaining it very well. But you got to build up speed. Crap at explaining things. Like basically, ride the wave away from the barrel to gain speed. Turn around as quickly as you can. Do a jump into the barrel. Turn around really quick and not get wiped out. And then build up speed. Do another jump and just keep doing that. And just racking up the points. I couldn't get into any of the other games in it, but like the half pipe, the BMX, that rollerblading, I thought that would have been cool, but no, I didn't have the patience for it. But the surfing, hell yeah. I'm looking in the case, right, for that the special bit of nostalgia. Okay, we'll get there. Most people, this is a big hitter. Castle of Illusion, and it's starring Mickey Mouse. Disney used to be so good with their video games, didn't they? Every single Disney game in this era and the Mega Drive era were the best looking games, easily. This is quite a challenging 2D platformer. I'm not sure if there was two, wasn't there? Yes. So there was Castle of Illusion and Land of Illusion. I don't know which one came out first, but I think on one of my Facebook groups, somebody's finally completed it. They're playing it with a kid, so someone my kind of age is introducing their kids to the Sega Master System, which I think is so cool. And he's finally finished it with his, I think it's his daughter. So yeah, fair play to you. Asterix. Now apparently there's 3 Asterix games out there. I had absolutely no idea. Really good looking game. It's kind of like a typical 2D platformer. I definitely played it. That one doesn't look like the one I played back in the day. But again, we're talking long time ago, 30 odd years ago. So, oh God, we're old, aren't we? Air Rescue. Awesome game. Do not sleep on this, okay? Really good fun game. I think you just got to, if I remember, you're controlling this helicopter and you got to go from A to B, pick up the hostages or save the people and fly them to safety, rinse and repeat kind of thing. But yeah, good fun old time. Haven't played this one, Alien Storm. It's not in the best condition. Looks like it's a bit of everything. Like a 2D shooting platformer, dare I say, Contra kind of looking game. What do you think? Again, some of these are complete blind buys. Haven't played it yet. Haven't played this version, but I think it's on the Super Nintendo or Mega Drive one. I definitely have played Alien 3. This was a time to be alive, wasn't it? Oh, this is from Super Tomato, $9.99. Shout out Super Tomato. I remember, I might have played it in the arcade actually. It's like a maze. It's easy to get lost. You've got to collect, is it rescue hostages or something? And then there's a time limit. It makes you go all the way down this corridor, down this massive ladder, and it's a fucking dead end. And it's like you got to go all the way back, and it's so stressful with that time limit running out. Haven't got around to playing that version yet. Oh, you got to have Afterburner in the collection. I know it's not as good as the arcade, but yeah, it holds up all right. I'm not really good at flying games. I'm not really good at this game, actually, if I'm being honest. But it's a fun old time, you know. Not the biggest sports title fan. Oh my god, look at this manual. So this is Kickoff, or Super Kickoff, made by US Gold. Oh, that US Gold logo, that's full of nostalgia, isn't it? Yeah, look at that manual. That's what we call a manual. Oopsie poopsie. Oh yeah, and US Gold had the white cartridges, didn't they? Not I got some with white. Most of them I got that burgundy colour. And I can't remember what game it is. Was it Robocop? Yeah, I had a black one, look. That's the coolest though, isn't it? I like the white as well. I like them all, but I think the burgundy with that grid on it is the most iconic, isn't it? Okay, so yeah, Super Kickoff. It's alright. Very janky. It's like with the top down kind of view. Football games have come a long way. Good game. Shinobi. Quite an easy game to find. I absolutely love. Is it level 2 when you're just flicking the ninja stars and all these like waves of ninjas jumping towards you kind of thing? And I remember that being quite impressive in the arcade scene. So yeah, Shinobi. Zillion 2. It's funny seeing that cover. Doesn't that give you Akira vibes? Because I'm reading Akira at the moment, see. Yeah, definitely like the look of this game. This was in that massive haul that I picked up that one time in CEX. Xeon 2 Mega Blast. There's 2 cover variants for this one, isn't there? Because the reason I know is because I bought this in Retribution in Llanelli. Shout out Retribution in Llanelli. And he had both variants. And he assured me both will run fine on the Master System too. So yeah, there's that. Oh, everyone's heard of this. Wonder Boy 3, The Dragon's Trap. This is kind of a... I love the fact that, like, basically you can turn into different characters and each character can do different things. I think I never owned it, but we either rented it because we found there was a video shop that had a tiny selection of games and you could rent them. I might have rented or might have borrowed it, but I do remember playing it with a friend. I can't remember who it was. Might have been one of my imaginary friends, you know. But yeah, that's a good game. Definitely check that out. But this, you can buy it in there's a collection. Oh, where's the loose card? I got the loose card here. Yeah. I got Vigilante here. Vigilante was in my Master System, see, before I started this video. Speaking of Double Dragon earlier on, I suppose it's like a Double Dragon, Streets of Rage kind of game. It's alright. It's alright. Tom and Jerry the movie. Good looking game. Kind of like 2D platform kind of game. Again, hopefully I'll do this video next year, if I'm still doing YouTube. I'll do this video next year and I'll be able to tell you a lot more about the games I've got in my collection. I'm buying them because I'm in this for the long haul, you know. I'm not just buying to resell to make a profit. I'm buying these games to play, but I know I've got till the rest of my life to play them, you know. So it's not a hurry to play them. At the moment, my PS5, PS4 games, and last night my Xbox and PS2. They're my main consoles at the moment. But I think when I get some time off, maybe this weekend, maybe I'll stream it. Gotta show this system some love. Terminator. Another very good looking game. It's not as good as Robocop versus Terminator, or is it? Yeah, Robocop versus Terminator. Fun fact with that as well. It took me ages to find this because I was typing into CEX search bar, right? Terminator versus Robocop. Of course, it wasn't showing it because I was typing them in the wrong flipping order. You'd think it might have picked up, maybe this guy means this, but no, it doesn't. Yeah, it's okay if you see it out there. No idea how expensive it is. Played this a ton back in the day. Transbot. This was the first time I saw that cartridge, that grid, the classic Master System cartridge. First time I ever borrowed a game. This is my third ever game I played on the Master System. Not really close to the guy anymore, but he was a classmate in primary school, and I lent him Indiana Jones, or Indy, and he lent me this. And there's 2 levels, and they're both on the back. It's kind of a poor man's or cheap version of R-Type, I suppose. It's okay, yeah, but there's a lot of nostalgia attached to that game, okay? Strider 2. Played a lot of Strider on... What's the one that came out on the PS3 and it's on the PlayStation Store? But yeah, the only reason I know Strider is because he's in Marvel vs. Capcom. But yeah, I haven't got around to playing that one yet. It looks really good, actually. I've heard good things about it as well. Right, we've got one more pile here. Then I'll show you the games I grew up with, my originals. Then I got my top 3, okay? So it won't be much longer, guys. How long have we been going for? Holy moly, 41 minutes. I'm sorry it takes so long, but I enjoy talking about video games. What can I say? Bought this, I think for the lulz, but looking at the back, it looks okay. Is Global Gladiators. It's a McDonald's game. Things we grew up with. But yeah, tell me that doesn't look bad. That looks pretty good, doesn't it? Again, I haven't played it, so it wasn't expensive. So I thought, all right, blind buy, let's go for it. G-Lock. It looks like more of a simulator kind of game compared to Afterburner. Maybe it's not, but yeah, it looks quite impressive for the Sega Master System, you know? I'm not thinking it's going to be like the next Flight Simulator, but who knows? Maybe it will. The Gauntlet. Really like the look of that, actually. Gives me early Zelda vibes. A little bit on the faded side. I think most of these are probably from CEX, okay? That looks like it might have been in the window. Oh my god, some of the CEXs we go to, especially in the summer, you see these things in the window, or just sun glaring on them for like 10 hours a day, 7 days a week. You think, oh my god, I'll buy it just to take it home, look after it, teach it how to read, feed it, you know. F-16 Fighter, the Sega cartridge. Whoa, look at that one. Talking about flight sim, that looks really complicated, doesn't it? God, 7-year-old. If my parents bought this game, imagine that. They bought the Master System with Alex Kidd in it, and that. Nah, that looks way too complicated for me. That even now. Do you know what I mean? This is would have been more my jam back in the day. Is Fantasy Zone. Apparently, this is quite hard. There's 2 of them. I got a feeling I played the second when I borrowed it off someone. Yeah, I like the look of it. It's like a cutesy, like a cute 'em up rather than shmup. Lord of the Swords. Very good looking cover. Haven't played it. Again, your side scrolling, hack and slash, big dude with a sword kind of game. There's a lot of them around. Oh, this saw Land of Illusion, starring Mickey the Man Mouse. Again, I don't know, it's Castle of Illusion or Land of Illusion. I think this is the sequel. Again, it looks great. It looks like it had cutscenes in it as well. I'll know as soon as I play, within 10 minutes, I'll know straight away which one of the 2 I've played. I think it might have been Castle of Illusion. Or actually, looking at that, might have been one of the early bosses, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, who knows. Now, the Disney game, Walt Disney's classic, The Jungle Book. Arcade game. See, look at the graphics. They look really good. Not far off Mega Drive. Maybe laugh at me in the comments, but not far off Mega Drive graphics, if you ask me. Yeah, man. Yeah, boy. Oh, now this game was I had the Sega Master System 2, and the Sega Master System 1, the version my friend had, I think, 2 built-in games. One was Safari Hunt, I think it was called, the shooting game, and the other one was Hang On. And I absolutely loved this game. And the thing is, I couldn't borrow it because it was built into my friend's games console. It was actually my brother's. It's funny, isn't it? Like what gaming does to you, right? He was my brother's friend, someone in my brother's class, rather. And, like, we weren't the cool kids because we didn't have the Mega Drive and the Super Nintendo. We were, like, the lower class. But it's never, ever bothered me, right? I'll hang around with anyone. And so, like, you very quickly get to know, like, who's got the Master System. So now looking back, who the cool kids were, yeah? So we were the cool kids. And this guy was in my brother's year, and we became friends because of the Master System. So I remember going up to his house, and the other cool thing with this guy's house, his father was a gamer as well. He was never there when I went up. I think he was in work all the time. But in my house, the Sega Master System was linked either in my bedroom or my brother's bedroom up to I think a 14-inch TV, CRT. Oh, those are the days. But when I went up to my friend's house, it was in the living room on a big 32-inch TV in the living room, do you know what I mean? So rather than sitting on a bed or sitting on the floor to play these games, we're sitting on the sofa, do you know what I mean? Because his father was the gamer. And so maybe, because it was on the biggest screen, maybe Hang On did look better. Maybe, I don't know. Hello, Rossi. Dog's come up to say hello. Do you want to say hello? There he is. There's my dog. Anything to say? Oh, he's gone. He's always camera shy. But yeah, when I saw that, I thought I got to buy that game. Okay. Yeah, really happy to have that in the collection. It looks like on the cover, like we're bikers, okay? Rossi, right on cue. He's actually named after the motorcycle racer Valentino Rossi. I got the tattoos. Yeah, so we're big bikers in this house, aren't we, boy? Yes, we are. It looks like... Is that Mick Doohan? Let me know in the comments. Speaking of comments, we've just had a comment come through. Right down, Rossi. Down. Goodbye. Been at my mum's house today. You were very good. You were very good, weren't you? Right, I've got a comment. Angry Moose. Hey, Angry Moose. How we doing? Hello, I hope all is good. Yes, all is good. Love the Master System back in the day. Yeah, boy. I remember playing Alex the Kid all the time. Such a chatty theme tune. Yes, brilliant game. Oh, and hello, Rossi. Rossi says hello. He's gone. He's busy dog, so he's gone to play with his... Oh, he's back. Come back to say hello. Right. Oh, right. Nearly towards the end. Golden Axe. Great game. Huge fan of the Golden Axe franchise. Started with me on the Commodore 64, and I'll never forget. I actually remember where I was standing going down this lane. We walked about 15 minutes to this little game shop that had opened, and I actually had enough money to buy Golden Axe, and it was in a different game case. It was like a big box, almost big box PC kind of game case, but it's for Golden Axe, the Commodore 64, and it had the Amiga graphics on the back. And I tell you what, how disappointed I was when I got home, because I was expecting, I didn't think they would lie to us. These are the game, this is what it looks like. And no, it's not. That's the Commodore Amiga graphics. But yeah, this is a good fun game. Very good fun game, okay? On the Master System. Right, so I've got a handful of games here. These are the games, the actual physical copies that I've still got from back in thy day, okay? So that thing I'm looking for might be in one of these boxes. So the first physical game I ever owned was Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. My dad, we loved going to the video shop, right, back in the day, and Indiana Jones, I think we must have rented it 2 or 3 times. I loved it. And our local video shop was closed on a Sunday, so we used to go Saturday morning, and then you wouldn't have to take it back until Monday. So my dad, on the way to work on the Monday, would drop the video back, right? So I used to watch it with the family, whatever film we chose. And then the next morning, I'd get up really early and I'd watch the same movie again before anyone got out of bed, kind of thing. Another comment. Not played the Master System version of Golden Axe, so we'll have to check it out. It holds up. It's not up there with the Mega Drive. Let's not get carried away. But yeah, it's a fun old time, you know. If you're a Master System guy, yeah, it deserves to be in the collection. So going back to Indiana Jones, okay, so it's my first ever physical game. So that Christmas I had this and Alex Kidd. And all I can say is thank God for Alex Kidd. Even back then, I knew this game was trash. But I didn't even know we were having a Master System for that Christmas. We used to ask for everything. You know, remember the Argos catalogues, us in the UK? Circle everything you want. You're circling. I don't know what I was circling. Didn't I was a little kid. My brother was probably maybe circled it, you know, and we had one. But, oh my God. So my dad probably looked at all these games, like, what's Gauntlet? What's Super Kickoff? What's Land of Illusion? He wouldn't know. And he goes, oh, yeah, he likes Indiana Jones. Either that happened, or the man in the shop, this is the other version of events in my head, right? Say he bought it in Comet or Curry's or Dixon's, right? And the man in the shop said, yeah, this is a good game. Buy this. And if that's what happened, fuck you, guy. Sorry. If you haven't played this game, it's so hard. We did get to level 3 or 4 after playing it for about 12 months, okay, in between Alex Kidd. And again, back in the day, guys, we used to have a game for Christmas, maybe 2 games for Christmas, maybe a game on your birthday or your brother's birthday, maybe, and then you'd have to wait till the next Christmas, and then have Sonic or whatever other games once you know what other games have come out, you know. So every game was so precious, you know. You wouldn't play it once and whatever. No, I don't like it. I'll put it on the shelf. I'll trade it in. It wasn't like that back in the 80s, was it? So yeah, not a very good game, but it's, again, I'm happy I've still got it in the collection. It's coming Evans, my surname on there, because obviously I would have been swapping it out. My mum was very I think she thought everybody was going to rip us off or something. Nice memory with this game, Michael Jackson's Moonwalker. That guy I was telling you about that gamed in his living room when he had Hang On built into the Sega Master System 1. He upgraded, I think he had a Mega Drive for Christmas, and then all of a sudden he was selling all his old games, and this is his version of Moonwalker. So I remember begging my father. He wanted £7 for it. My father was like, oh, that's a lot of money for a second-hand game. They were like £30 to £40 new, right? And he wanted £7 for this game. And I remember begging him, I'll mow the lawn for the rest of my life, Dad. I'll hoover for the rest of my life, please. Please. It was like March, April. My birthday's not till July. So, oh, hey there. Is it Wayek? Am I pronouncing that right? Wayek? Sorry if I'm butchering that. But yeah, this is another one of those games. Again, it's the memories, isn't it? It's actually a good, fun game. I never finished it, but that guy that sold it to me, he came down once and he finished it for us, so we actually got to watch the full playthrough, you know. Yeah, really good, fun game, that is. I got nostalgia to get back into it. Tasmania. This is the first ever Master System game I completed. It might actually be the first game I ever completed. I can probably complete it if I tried to play it again. I haven't played it for 30 plus years. It's a very, very easy game. Imagine like a very slow Sonic the Hedgehog, because he's kind of got a bit of a spin attack. The only challenging thing is he eats everything. So you might see like a random cooked chicken in the middle of the jungle, as you do. Just walk up to it and he'll eat it. You don't have to press anything. But if it's like a bomb, if you get too close to it, he'll pick that up and eat it as well, so you lose health. Let's see if that thing... Yes! This is the thing. So again, look how good that condition is. That's what... This is one, again, these are my original games from back in the day. Now, every single game... Who remembers these? Any Master System guys out there? Had one of these in it. It's like a catalogue, I suppose, okay? A fold-out catalogue. So, Sega Games catalogue, Master System / Master System 2. Okay, so that's the front bit. I'm going to get one of these framed, okay? This is just full of nostalgia for me. On the back, then, I love that box. And it's got, like, Alex the Kid, because it's saying it's built into the system. Then you add the peripherals, then they're advertising the Game Gear, and true 16-bit power, the Sega Mega Drive. Everyone is talking about bits. Nobody knew what the hell they were, but mine's got double the bits yours has got. Yeah, it's all about the bits, baby. But then if you open it up again, oh my god, let me just take this in for a sec, right, guys? Holy moly, this is a nostalgia trip. So they divided into arcade games. That was more my jam. Action games, also very good. Shooting games and sports games, okay? I think there were some, there might, unless my memory is playing tricks on me, there might have been another one of these and some of the other, maybe an older one or a newer one. I don't know, okay? But I got a feeling there was another version. But this is the one that means the most to me, okay? Stephen, hello. How are we doing, Stephen? Welcome to our nostalgia trip. Sega Master System, guys. We were the cool kids. Okay? So, oh, man. Now, this is how we used to pick our games. There might be one of them. I'm not going to go through them all now. That actually has pen where I used to circle all the games. Remember that one there? The very first one there. Ghouls and Ghosts, right? I'll tell you a little story about that when we get to the game, okay? But that there. Oh, my actual God. Probably the best condition one I got out of all of my games. I think I had this quite late as well, Tasmania. Nobody wanted to borrow it, basically. So that's never left wherever I was living, you know. But I do recommend it if you're half a fan of the Sega Master System. It's not a trash game, but it's quite an easy game. It must be easy. It was my first game I ever finished. We'll just switch these round. One amazing game when it came out. The mascot after Alex Kidd, Sonic the Hedgehog. This one I think was mine because it's got my name on it. My name wasn't Tony Fighter back then. Oh, I forgot this was in there. I know I've done this on video before. Now, this here is a cutout from a Sega magazine, okay? And I'm so glad I kept these things, guys. So, if you've played Alex Kidd in Miracle World, there's certain bosses that you just got to fight. But there's some bosses, I think there's 3 of them, that tell you... Sorry, no, rock, paper, scissors. That's actually in the game. And what this does is tells you what they're going to do. I think there's like a power-up or something, if I remember right, that it shows like what they are thinking. So you can kind of cheat that way. Or if you want to know exactly what... I kind of memorized them anyway, but I'm so glad I kept that. It's funny I put it in Sonic, but close. I got no other game to put it in. I can't put it in Alex Kidd because it's inside the console, you know. But Sonic the Hedgehog, what an amazing, amazing game. It's actually not made by the same people that did the Mega Drive version. I didn't know that until about 2 years ago. I just assumed it's the same game developers that make them all. Never actually finished it. This and Alex Kidd are probably the two games, and my number one games I played the most, put the most time into. This is probably the third or fourth game I ever owned as well. And I'll never forget. There's like each stage, or each level rather, has 3 stages. And stage 3 is a boss, okay? And this is quite hard because you couldn't have any rings in the boss. There's one hit and you're dead, okay? And if I remember right, level 3 was the jungle stage. So it's that green one there, okay? And probably my favourite music in the entire game. But the boss was on this like vine. So you're fighting Eggman or Dr. Robotnik. Like, Dr. Robotnik. Good job we're not live. We'll edit that out. Yeah, Dr. Robotnik. Nailed it. There's a vine. And he flies over. So you got to hit him. Just 6 or 8 times. But he's dropping these bombs into these vines. And they're like rolling as well. So remember, one hit kill, okay? You got to hit him. And you bounce off him. And you got to try and avoid all these bombs. And the further you get, the more these bombs, until they explode, are underneath you. That's the easy part, right? The hard part is you beat him. So you're on this vine. You got to get from the vine, go down and jump onto the platform, and you've done the level. Oh my God, the amount of times I couldn't do that simple jump. You're like, I pressed it. That was the first time I ever experienced a little thing called gamer rage, okay? But what a great little game that is, okay? Sonic the Hedgehog 2. I think I had that the one Christmas. So what am I going to ask for the next Christmas? Is Sonic the Hedgehog 2. In my opinion, Sonic 1 is better, okay? I don't know why. I was disappointed with this game. But whenever I see this, I have told this story before. It was at the time, I was at an age where I think my parents, I knew Father Christmas wasn't real. Sorry if anyone out there doesn't know that as well. But he's not actually real, you know. He doesn't come down your chimney. Anyway, I found out where my parents stashed our our presents, okay? It was easy to find. David Hodges, evening. Welcome to the nostalgia trip. Well, were you a Master System kid? Or were you a cool kid like us growing up? So I knew where it was in the cupboard, my parents' cupboard. You just open the cupboard and boom, they were just there. Maybe in bags and stuff like that, okay? So I thought, yes, I got Sonic 2. There was a little Sega seal there. It wasn't in wrap. These games weren't in wrap. I had like a little sticker. So you could peel the sticker off. So I put it in my console. I played this game pretty much all of December, okay? My mum once came in my bedroom when I was playing it. That was on my mum's standing right there. That was on the desk. All she had to do was lock down, right? She goes, oh, what are you playing? I'm like, Sonic 1. Carried on playing. Who the hell says Sonic 1? If you only own Sonic, if you only own that game, you don't call it Sonic 1, do you? So I was such a bad crap liar, but my mum still didn't understand. She didn't get, I wasn't caught, basically, right? David Hodges, I had the Master System. Good man. I loved Alex the Kid, built into it. Great times. It was, wasn't it? Absolute. They were the best times, weren't they? So fast forward to Christmas Day. My brother was all excited to play Sonic 2. Let's go play Sonic 2. I was like, nah. And then he was trying to do stuff. It's happened again with another game. Exactly the same kind of thing happened again. I said, no, you don't go that way. You go this way. He goes, how do you know? And I'm like, oh, so-and-so told me. Oh, he's got it, is he? Or I read it in a magazine. Crap liar, right? But yeah, I've never, ever was found out. But it's okay. He's there with that paraglider thing, hang glider thing. I hated loads of things about it. I didn't like the soundtrack. To me, it was a bigger game, but I don't know. It was missing some ingredient or something, you know. I'm not saying it's a bad game, but it's not my favourite Sonic game, okay? Right, on to my top 3 Sega Master System games of all time, or in my collection, okay? Staying with Sonic. Oh, what a great game. A lot easier as well. I have finished this many a times. Sonic Chaos, or Sonic the Hedgehog Chaos. This is a very late game in the Master System lifespan, okay? This had things like you could hold down, press one of the buttons and he would do that spin attack. You could play as Tails in it as well. It was like all the stuff we didn't have on the Master System, but the Mega Drive had years ago. This is the closest to the Sonic that they had out on the Mega Drive, okay? There was really cool power-ups. The fast shoes, I remember. There's one that's like rockets on his shoes. So Sonic the Hedgehog could just fly very easy. You can easy to get lives. I think that's one of the bonus stages. I love the bonus stages in Sonic, okay? And each one of those rings is equivalent to 10 smaller rings. And you're literally just flying back and forth. And if you're half decent at the game, you can get like 5 to 8 lives every single bonus stage. So I could get like 30, 40 lives by the end of the game. Do you know what I mean? Really good. Excellent game. That's why it's my number 3 game in the collection, you know. That's the Sega I was saying about the label. Basically, they're easy to peel off and put back, you know. Number 2. I think I picked this up last year. And I haven't finished it because this is balls hard, okay. Ninja Gaiden. Probably the best cover as well. Cover art out of all the Master System. They were very hit or miss. Sega Master System, some of the cover arts we had were were terrible, okay? But that shows what they were capable of, okay? Really good fun game, but really, really hard. It's one of those games, you die, but they're not cheap deaths. You're like, yeah, that was kind of my fault. You don't mind replaying it. I think it does stand up. You know, like some of these new games that come out, like within the last 5 years even, that have got like the 8 or the 16-bit graphics. They go in for this art style to appeal to us older gamers, you know, pulling on the old nostalgia. This gameplay is up there with those games, you know, and that's a hell of a compliment. But yeah, that's my second favourite. The thing is, it might have been my number 1 if I grew up with it, but none of my friends had it. I was aware of it, but then the other part of me thinks, was it too hard? Would it have been too hard a game? Like Indiana Jones, that Indiana Jones Last Crusade game was hard, but it was crap. Do you know what I mean? It was inconsistent with the falls, and it wasn't a good fun game. But this game is, like I say, when you die, it's fair. You know, it's hard, but it's fair. That game kicks ass. You were absolutely correct, sir. Absolutely correct. Amazing game. It's quite pricey. I think I paid, £45 CEX. It's a hard game to find as well. I had to put one of those. I don't do it for many games, only the special games. They notify me when it's in stock, and it works. So CX let me know. Ordered it straight away. Came within 3-4 days. Had it that week basically, and I've been living happily ever after. Right, my number 1 game, right? Easily my number 1 game, right? Is Ghouls and Ghosts. What a great game. And yes, I finished this game back in the day. I finished this game multiple times. Remember that guy who was saying that his father was a gamer? We played this game. We couldn't get past level 3. Very, very rarely got past level 3. But it's infinite continues, okay? But we still couldn't get past level 3. It was just dying. So that kid we lent the game, to this guy whose father was a gamer. I never would have figured this out, right? It didn't exist. Again, we were primary school, so I was I would have been 10 when we played this, because my brother was in comprehensive school. I'll tell you a little story about that in a sec. So this is the first, we lent this game to this guy, and he said, I finished it. We're like, what, you finished it? How do you get past level 3? Oh, you gotta level up your character. What do you mean, level up your character? We didn't understand, right? So basically, you see him there, he's got the gold armour on. You start off with silver armour, and if I remember right, you got 2 hearts. So you get hit once, you lose the armour. It's famous because you're running around in your boxer shorts and here, and it's really, oh, he's got any clothes on. It's funny, you know. But then, I think then you go from silver armour to, let's say, I think it's green armour, or no, I think it's red. Then you get an extra heart, so you can get 3 hits and you're dead. Then it's green, then it's 4 hits, you're dead. Then it's gold, and it's 5 hits, you're dead. That's the way I remember. I might not be completely accurate, but that's how I remember it, okay? There's hidden option menu in that game too. What, in Ghouls and Ghosts? No way, I'll have to check that out. So basically, what my friend said to do, or showed us, on level 3, is to purposely die, but you keep, every time you continue, you keep your armour or your weapon. Same thing happens with weapons. As you progress, you get better weapons, like you throw fire, you throw these spears, or it gets better and better. So literally, you purposely die, so you keep going into they're very random though, okay? Like these magicians appear. No, you shoot the chest, it's coming back to me now, sorry. And sometimes a magician will appear and turn you into like a duck or something. Or a door will appear. You go in the door and it lets you pick what you want. You want, I think there were shoes as well, weren't there? That make you jump better. Okay, you need them later in the game. All right. A Sim and Ninja game? I'll have to check it out. Thanks for letting me know. So he taught a farming. I can't remember the phrase he used, but we never, ever would have figured that out. Me and my brother. We weren't on his level. But looking back, I bet it was his father that showed him how to do it. You know what I mean? He was an adult gamer. Maybe he's reading magazines and stuff. He was really into it, okay? So then, yeah, so literally finished it. And I tell you what, the amount of people complain that you got to go back to the beginning after you do it. And they basically say, yeah, you finished the game, but you've got to go back to the beginning because you need this other weapon. You're not strong enough. I had no problem doing that. It's like, you're maxed out and you just breeze through the game. He's like, oh yeah, I struggled on this boss. And you're just taking him out easy peasy, you know. Oh, Retro Rewind, what's happening? You should Google the guy who did the Master System book. He got some bad press. Did he really? Oh, I'll have a look at that. If you're wondering, guys, well, shout out Retro Rewind. Saying at the beginning, friends of the channel, he's actually got a complete UK Sega Master System collection. Wow, do you know what I mean? Full set, go on, I dare you. Oh, yeah. Well, looking at the price, what was it, Streets of Rage 2? Phew, that tells me I'll never have a full set, you know? Fair play. So the funny story, this is probably the second game I ever completed, okay? But the story of this game as well, the reason, it is the best game in my opinion, but it means a lot to me as well. So I was in primary school. My older brother was in secondary school or comprehensive school, okay? And I had like an inset day. And the week earlier, my nan and my grandfather went to London to watch a show, okay? Now we're from the countryside in Wales, a little country town, right? So going to London back then is a big deal. And they asked me and my brother, what do you want us to get? We're going to get you something. When they go on holidays, right? It's a family thing. We always buy something when we come back. So my nan said to me, no, that little Tony, innit? Tony Fighter, what would you like? We're going to London. I said, Ghouls and Ghosts. Can you get me Ghouls and Ghosts? Never in a million years I think, if I'm being real, I wrote there's a couple of games. Do you know with those fold-out things that I showed you? The very first one was Ghouls and Ghosts, wasn't it? Right? So, that's what I asked for. I never in a million years thought they'd ever get us a game, because it wasn't our birthday, it wasn't Christmas, it wasn't an Easter or anything like that. It was just, they were going away, we're going to buy you something. And to know the feeling I get inside, in my heart, of my grandparents going into a game store, talk about out of their comfort zone, and asking, excuse me, can you help us? Or someone going up to them And I hope they were nice. I really do. Can I help you? Because they would have stood out, wouldn't they? I mean, like older people now go into game shops. We're welcomed in there, but like old people back in the day, in the 80s, early 90s, they would have stood out like a sore thumb. And them asking, have you got Ghouls and Ghosts for the Sega Master System? Do you know what? It's just a hard feeling. It just makes me feel warm and fuzzy inside, you know. So then they give me Ghouls and Ghosts, right? And I was on inset day, wasn't I? And it's kind of their fault, though, right? I'm sticking up for young Tony now, right? So they said, here's your game you wanted. And I was looking at it going, what? I couldn't believe it, right? It was such a nice surprise. Normally they'd buy like a colouring book or pens or something like that. And I would have done, right? So basically I had to go up my auntie's house because my parents were both in work. My brother was in his school and my school had this inset day. So my nan said to me, wait for your brother to get home before you play it. I was like, yeah, okay, that's going to happen. Do you know what I mean? I'll just take it upstairs because we was linked up. The Master System was linked up to my cousin's TV in his bedroom, okay? Yeah, I'll just take it. I just want to have a look at it. Cool. As soon as I go up, I'm ripping it up and putting it in, do you know what I mean? And I played the shit out of it. Again, they wouldn't know. They didn't know. They probably never even seen the cartridge before, didn't you know what I mean? So my brother comes home playing it all day. Think it was. Look at the graphics. What an app. It's a hard game. He's the first boss, believe it or not. He's on level 2. Yeah, I would have passed him and then got stuck on that dreaded level 3. So my brother's like, wow. I said, yeah, I waited for you. Literally open it, put it back in the case. Look what we've got. And he's like, what? We got a game? Wow, that's amazing. All excited. It's exactly the same way as I reacted. Let's put it on. And he's like, do you want to play first? I was like, no, you can play. Goes, oh. Normally, I'd be snatching the controller off his hand, wasn't I? But I was, because I'm the younger brother, do you know what I mean? No, you can play. I'm like, yeah, don't go there. Yeah, go down that ladder and go that way. He's like, how do you know? No. Just a terrible flipping liar, do you know what I mean? But this game, out of all my games in my collection, I remember picking most of them up. I remember who bought games, but I specifically asked for games. This has got the most nostalgia attached to it. Talking about like a special game, that is a special game. Even if it was a trash game, if I asked for Indiana Jones, right? It could have asked for that. If I didn't have that already, that's one of the worst games I've ever played, right? I'd still have that warm, fuzzy feeling of my grandparents going in a store in London to buy this, do you know what I mean? So, yeah, that's one of my favourite games in my entire collection. It's not the best game. It's probably in the top 25 games in my collection, you know? But yeah, that is the story of my Ghouls and Ghosts. Yeah, guys, that is my entire Master System collection 2024. It's something I'm actively collecting for, not hardcore, you know, but whenever I'm doing, like I said, you know, whenever I'm doing my CEX searches, it's Master System, Xbox, and PlayStation. And I'm talking OG Xbox, PlayStation 1, okay? I would go an hour or so in a train if they had a couple of Master System games, you know, in stock in CEX, you know. There you go, guys. Thank you very much for joining me. I really enjoy talking about any games, but especially the Master System, you know. We were the lucky ones. Remember that, guys? We were the lucky ones. All the Nintendo kids, all the Super Nintendo kids, a lot of my friends started with the Super Nintendo or the Mega Drive. They had no idea. Everyone used to trash on it, but trust me, we were the lucky guys, okay? Yeah, thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Please consider Hadouken that subscribe button if you haven't already, or even consider tapping that like button. And then everyone back. It's free. I'm not charging tonight. It's free to hit the like button, okay, guys? Yeah, thank you very much for joining me. Love you. Bye.